going on, and there's always a lot going on here at Authors Up, that's for sure. So we got everything lined up. Let me tell you, Ruth, you put together a good program for tonight, so I'm really hoping that the folks who tune in are going to get as much out of it as I have gotten out of it just by looking at your notes. So I am good, good,
Good.
good, good, good. The ins and outs of journaling, we're going to be talking about that tonight. I'm excited about that. Hey, and we got everything else the way we should have it. I do believe we're going to do our weekend review. And Miss Victoria, you're going to start us off. Yes.
Yep.
And Miss Ruth, you're going to come in, and then
Yep.
I'm going to come back in, and we're going to let our listeners know what we've been up to, what we have been up to, because we've been up to a lot. I mean, I think there's a lot
Yeah.
going on, a lot on our plates,
Yeah.
lots of things we are trying to accomplish.
The question is, do we remember what we've been up to? Ah, okay.
And
Oh.
therein may be the issue. We knew we had a week. We know
Hmm.
it was the last Sunday. We know this is this Sunday, and we
Yep.
know that we got stuff to share. We've always got stuff to share.
Oh yeah. Always.
Yeah, yeah,
Always.
yeah. We got folks coming in now, and we're gonna get ready to do what we do and see what else we can see. Hope we have some folks on from Toronto tonight or from Jamaica. Sometimes we have some folks on from Jamaica. So maybe they're going to be in with us tonight. That'll be good. And we've got some folk coming on the line already this evening. So let's see if Mr. Allen, are you ready? If you're ready, we're ready to get rolling.
I
We're
am
ready.
ready.
Awesome, awesome. Here we go, guys.
All right, here you go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Authors Up. It is your favorite place to be on Sunday evenings. That's right here with your favorite host, myself, Andrea L. Hines, and we've got Ms. Ruth Griffin. Good evening to you, Ruth.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm well. So glad to have you back with
Thank
us. So glad
you.
to
So glad to be back.
Yes, we missed
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and Queen Victoria is with us tonight. Hello there. How are you, lady? You
I
good?
am okay.
Well, you're looking wonderful, wonderful. So
Thank you,
glad.
thank you, thank you.
And we've got some guests with us this evening. Nakayata, good evening to you. Glad to have you in the house this evening. And we got Angie O. Hello, Miss Oliphant. She is from the whole and beautiful nation with ALH Broadcasting. Glad to have you. Lynette Hines is with us this evening. Boss Up Beauties. Good to have
Yes, yes, yes.
Louise Green. Hello there, Miss Louise. Glad to have you. Miss Macy Hill. Macy's in the house this evening. Linda Cooks is in the house this evening.
That's my
So,
friend
so, so
Louise.
glad,
Thank
I
you for
tell
coming
you.
on, Louise.
Yeah, we got good folks here listening to us tonight. And look, let me tell you, as we get ready to start, and we always go into our weekend review, but while we're doing our weekend review, we want you guys to get a pencil and piece of paper or a book or whatever it is you take notes on, because we've got some good information for you this evening. We're going to share some good stuff with you, and some of it you are going to want to keep at hand, I guarantee you. Hey there, Christina Harrison. Good evening to you. Glad to have you in the house, And Alan, if we've got Toronto coming in or any of our other countries that come in, you be sure to let us know so we can properly welcome them to Authors Up this evening. So let's go ahead and get started with our week in review. And we're going to start with Victoria tonight. Victoria, what's been going on, lady?
Nothing.
Nuh-uh, there is no way.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Actually, you know what? And I'm glad to say nothing. How about that? You know, it was a pretty uneventful week. Just filled with work and trying to take care of myself and adhere to the new dietary guidelines I need to be on. And that was about it. And it was a long week, it seemed, you know. And I was looking forward to the weekend, and then we have a day off tomorrow. Thankful for the holiday. Another day to just rested a little bit. Just hello from the Bahamas.
Lord,
Good
Bahamas.
evening and welcome, Bahamas. Yes.
Good evening.
So that was really about it. It was nothing. I'm serious. It really was nothing going on. And you know what? I just thank God for that, for calm, for a little peace, for quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nothing wrong with that.
And that was it for me.
How about you, Ruth? What about you? What's happening with you last week?
Well, obviously, I wasn't here last week because I was sitting in an emergency room, not breathing. It was it wasn't quite that dramatic, but it was a severe asthma attack, and
Wow.
I am better now.
Thank
Obviously,
God.
breathing on my own. You know, and that it's moments like that that you discover how unhealthy some of your habits are. You know, not necessarily that I'm not taking care of the asthma or anything like that, but you know, sometimes you allow stress to push you into spaces where you're not taking care of yourself. And that's the place where I found myself last week. And you know what, even as stressful as that situation was, I'm grateful for it because it allowed me to see what I wasn't doing. So, you know, apart from about a couple hours at work this week, I took the week off and I started reevaluating some of my habits and just, you know, start taking care of myself. You know, we talk about, ooh, new year, new me, all of that. No, we're done with overlooking. For me, I'm done overlooking me and I'm going to take care of myself. And I would encourage others to do the same, you know, and it's not about, oh, I need a spa treatment or anything like that. It's just, what are your habits pushing you into? You know, are you worried about stuff? Are you working? You know, I have a cousin who I reconnected with last year, and she has spent the better part of the year telling me, oh, girl, you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. No, she was right. I need to take care of myself. We all need to take care of ourselves. So we got work to do. And I am grateful to be here. And I'm grateful for tonight's show because I think it helps. It will definitely help in that taking care of yourself. So yeah, that's been my week.
Thanks for the reminder, Ruth. It's hitting home for real.
And sometimes we don't really understand the stress that we're under because we are so good at moving through, you know, and going through and getting it done and making it happen and all of those things. And sometimes it takes a rough spot to put us in a place of reflection to say, oh, wait, that wasn't okay. That's not okay. That's not behavior that I want to be consistent with. And something has to change. And as much as I hate being ill and going to the doctor and doing all those things, my wake up call back in March to say, you know what, lady, you got to do life a little bit differently. And it's perfectly okay to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's worth it in the end.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm glad. We're glad to have you back and glad
Thank
to have
you.
you feeling
Glad to
better.
be-
That is for sure. I had doctor's appointment this week. Got a good doctor's report, a
Well, good. Yay.
cardiologist, and he's one of my least favorite people. But
And I'm sure he doesn't take it personally.
but I went anyway, and
That's what counts, right?
that's right. That's right. And things are going okay. And one day I'll share my my whole saga with physicians. I need to give it a name though, because it may take a while.
Yeah.
But I was glad to know that things are well and moving along and moving forward.
Good.
Last week was a week of really intentional prayer requests, actually, for people. We prayed for Ruth, of course, last
Hmm.
week, and just have a number of people who just are needing God to move in a miraculous way. And we've been asking for
Amen.
um, just the manifestation of his healing power, because we know the word says that by his stripes we are healed.
Yes.
So we're just asking that healing power to manifest for David Parker, and for Bishop Gregory Lawrence, and for Pastor Gloria Kennedy out in California, and just any other people that you have thought about during the week, or our listeners have thought about during the week. When you think of people, pray for them.
Yeah.
Pray for them. Put them on your list. Put them in your prayer bowl. Put them in your prayer box. Put them on your post-it note. Whatever it is that you do, but let's be intentional about praying for people. Prayer changes things.
Amen.
Our prayers are important. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to be able to lift some folk up in prayer last week. So
Absolutely.
Amen.
thankful
Amen.
for that, And so it was a good week. All in all, it's a good week. They
Mhm.
just keep getting better. I am. I'll share this one quick thing.
Good.
In our church, the mantra for the year has been "Dream Again."
Dream again.
Mhm.
Yes.
I went down to see my little, I used to call them my squeeze toys, my twins, goddaughters. And I gave them a box of crafts with, a lot of paper and stuff that they could do things with. And one of them wrote us a card. And on the card, it said, "Dream big."
Oh,
Oh,
how nice.
wow.
She's 8 years old.
Yep.
She ain't going to church. She's not.
Oh, wow.
She hasn't heard the messages, but I am just reminded of the fact that when God is moving and when he wants to do something, he gets that message to you in ways that you will not even expect. So
Mhm.
so we're going to be intentional about taking care of ourselves. We're going to
Yep.
be intentional about our dialogue with him and listening
Yes.
to his voice. We're going to be intentional in our programming, that we are bringing you things that you can use, and things that will lift your heart, and things that will strengthen you, and things that will make you feel good. So this is one of those we're going to make you feel good nights, because we're going to give you some stuff that you can use. What is it the man used to say? This is news you can use. That's stuff
Yes.
you can use tonight. And we're going, oh my gosh. And Angie said, same message today at church. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. Dust the dreams off, guys. Dust the dreams
All
off.
right.
This is something that's going to help you dust those dreams off. Look
There
there.
you
All
go.
right.
There. And Ms. Ruth Griffin is going to lead us in discussion tonight. So, Ruth, I'm going to turn it over to you and talk to us about the ins and outs of journaling.
Absolutely. And like I said, last week I was sitting in a hospital and I just kept thinking, how can I make this better? And the thing is, I already had the tools at my disposal. I have been journaling since 1995.
Wow.
Not always consistently, but
Mhm.
since that time period. And I've had notebooks, I've had journals, I've used my computer now, all different methods. And it's just, to me, that has become an essential part of my life, who I am, my health. and all of that. So, tonight we're going to talk about, like you said, the ins and outs of journaling. We're going to talk about the benefits of it, what type of journals, and then we're going to share a little bit about what we do. Then, of course, because it's me, I'm going to start off with a quote. So, um, I actually have a few of them, but I couldn't pick which one. But my favorite book is titled "The Beautiful Days of My Youth." It's written by Anna Novak, and she was 16 years old when she went through the Holocaust. And her book is her book was her journal. She
Okay.
went through 6 months in an extermination camp, protecting that journal and writing every day. And she said, I had long periods when I existed through and for my journal. Everything that happened to me only happened through being written down. My real life was only a sort of servant, the supplier of my written life. I don't like to write, but I must, for I'm not writing for my hope, for myself. I hope that these notes will be part of the evidence on the day of reckoning. And obviously, she had a very different outlook, very different circumstances from most of us. But I feel that journaling is the same thing. In our lives, in our circumstances, they take us through our day. For me, I start thinking ahead. I even use like a dictation tool on my way into work, and I start journaling. I start dictating what I'm going to write, what I want to share on that paper. So um, let's talk about the benefits of journaling, because this is just much more than okay, just a habit. It's just more than just something cool that we do. It is something that can benefit us mentally, spiritually. I mean, the benefits are just beyond what you would imagine. So, we're going to go through a short list and start there. So, journaling improves mental health. The act of taking pen to paper can help you relax. It can help you manage anxiety, cope with depression. You gain deeper understanding of who you are, what the causes of your conflicts may be. And guys, jump in at any point if you want to have anything you want to share. But as you start writing these things out, it helps you to see what is going on with your emotions and with your mental health. And for me, that was one of the ways, I've shared on the program before that I've had mental health issues in the past. And I say in the past because I'm not saying I journaled my way out of it, but by journaling I was able to discover some of the things that were um, keeping me bondage to the ups and downs of bipolar.
Right.
So,
Right.
It can definitely help you, you know, get it out of you, because the longer it stews in you, the unhealthier you are. So, um, second benefit, it encourages self-confidence. It can help boost your self-confidence. Um, it helps you prepare, reduces anxiety by preparing. You can use your journal as active practice for positive self-talk. So, and to combat negative thoughts and to improve your self relationship, and that was one of the things that, as I was trying to find the pointers for today, self relationship, we're worried about how we relate to other people, but how do you relate to yourself? You know,
Right.
are you confident with who you are and how you talk to yourself? You can use your journal as a way to help boost that. So,
I
um,
agree.
Mhm.
you can boost your emotional intelligence. It can help you make sense of how you're feeling with a certain person or situation. It can help you understand your triggers. And again, that goes back to the mental health aspect.
Mhm.
It can help you achieve your goals. The physical act of writing down, and I'm sure I'm not the only person who does this, but I will make a list, and then I will
Checking
do
it
stuff.
twice.
Look, I will come back and write it down after I've done it, just to make sure that I it's on my list so that I can cross it off,
Right,
and it
right,
helps you, it's just visualizing that goal. Because we all got our phones, we all got our computers and stuff like
right.
that. But honestly, you keep going back to that pad and paper, and you're like, you know what? I now have a to-do list journal that now I can go back, I can write it, and then I can cross it off, because it helps me understand what my goals are. It helps me visualize my goals, and it helps me understand, you know what? That's another one that I checked off the list.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So, let's talk about creativity. If you are the type of person that ideas just keep coming to you, a journal is a great place to jot them down, even if
Mhm.
you don't do anything with it for the moment. You can keep all your ideas together and you can come back and develop them as the time allows. You can boost your memory. How many people are a little bit forgetful?
I mean, can you remember what you did last year to this time?
No,
Okay.
I can't
I'm
remember what I
working
did
on
last
do
week.
that.
I know.
So, but having a memory journal, and again, we're using journal interchangeably, but what we're going to discover is there are many types of journals out there,
Right.
and journaling is simply the act of writing every day. Now how you write and what you put out there um, is up to you. But if you can write, writing something down, it's that act of writing it that will help you remember and help you boost your memory. So, um, great way for to enhance that. You can enhance your critical thinking skills.
Mhm.
Reflective journaling can be helpful in developing those skills. It can help you in developing just, for lack of a better term, how to think. Oftentimes we're living in an age and space where we're told um not necessarily what to think, but we're told that we can
Right.
think for ourselves, and then we're fed all of this stuff from social media
Right.
and news
Right.
and all
Right.
of that. So
Right.
by creating a space where you can think for yourself, that will help develop who you are. So,
I like that, Ruth. That's a good point. Being
mhm,
able to think for yourself.
mhm.
I like that.
All right. For our students out there, it can heighten academic performance.
Hmm.
For those who have completed like a learning journal where they, take notes. Again, we go back to everybody. Everybody's got a computer in class. Everybody's got a tablet in
Yeah.
class now. But
Yeah.
sometimes just the act of writing it down will help commit it to memory
Okay.
so much more. It will help you learn. It will help you think. It will help you develop questions. Um, even as you write, as you look through the information, it helps you look at it and go, wait a minute, that I've got a question there about that. So,
Right.
it's excellent for that. It improves your physical health. This one's surprising. So,
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Talk about that one again.
so self-reported physical outcomes improves. Now, these are some of the ones, but improved liver function, reduced blood pressure,
What?
improved immune system functioning, and athletic performance. And some of this stuff is, understanding. There's a whole a whole my brain is just stopped, but
It's all
you
right.
can actually purchase like an athletic journal, where you record all the information, how much you ran, what your blood pressure was, all
Okay.
of that kind of stuff. But the act itself of writing also brings down your blood pressure. It also brings down
Oh.
like a teen.
Mm.
I'm not a medical person at all, so I don't know any of these words, but I do know that the actual process of writing allows your body to start coming down. But at the
Okay.
same time, if you are recording, again, going back to my experience with the mental health, the fact that I was able to record, instances of when I was having episodes, when I was,
Okay.
experiencing certain emotions, I was able to eventually understand what my cycle was and understand what my response was, and then to begin to change those things.
Gotcha.
So, it's kind of two way in that respect, but it can literally change your physical health.
Can it bring
I
down my
like
A1C?
that
I'm
and
gonna
some
let you
other
answer that one.
that and some other things. I wanted to point out something Angie said. Angie said writing helps me more than using
Mhm.
electronics. And
Tonics.
I think that is it is an important point to make just like you're telling us, Ruth, to understand that when we're talking about journaling, we're talking about the act of writing. And
Mhm.
that's a physical thing, I think. There's something that happens when you put pen to paper
Right.
that doesn't happen when you type.
Right.
And I truly, I totally agree with her. And most of the things that I find myself journaling about, or things where journaling is important to me, and we'll talk about that when we talk about
Mhm.
some of the types of journaling and get into what we as individuals do. It comes from something I can put my hands on. It's like sometimes we
Yeah.
talk about, it. I every now and then I want to turn the page of the book.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
want to just hear it, and I don't want to look it up and Google everything. I want to actually physically turn the page of the
Yes.
book. And it makes a tremendous amount of difference, I think, when you are consciously writing,
Right.
writing, not electronically
Mhm.
doing, not electronically making the notes all the time. And even Ruth, when you were saying that you have the recording device
Mhm.
so that you record what you will write,
Mhm.
it's not the place of the writing, but it is to record what you will remember to write later. So I
Absolutely.
just wanted to point that out.
are,
Yeah, Miss Angie, I agree with you, lady.
are there journaling apps out there?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes, we're going to talk about that in a
Oh, okay.
second.
Sorry.
No, no, no. You're fine. You're fine. So last point, it strengthens your communication and writing skills.
Okay.
And especially for our writers out there, we say that just write. Sometimes it's not just saying, okay, oh, I'm gonna devote, I'm gonna write 1,000 words today for my novel. Sometimes it's,
Hmm.
you know what, I'm gonna sit here for about 15 minutes and write my journal.
Right.
Writing is writing. And it's not to say that we ignore any grammar rules, anything like that, but the more you write, the more of a writer you become. It forces you to organize your thoughts. It helps you to communicate both better on paper and verbally, because it helps you, it motivates you to think about what you're going to say. So, um, there's a strong connection between writing and speaking, and just by journaling, you are strengthening that part of you. So, those are the benefits. And if nothing else, you know, it is a great practice, just to unburden yourself, if nothing
Yes.
else. That's one thing I've learned over the years. Like I said, I've been doing this for since 95. It was a practice for me to get all of that out that I needed to get out, and then
Yeah.
just to keep going. So,
Yeah.
um, great benefits. Let's talk about the types of journals.
Yeah.
Um, yes. So, we alluded to some of them. There are, let me show you what I've got. So, this is my to do planner.
Okay.
It's less of a planner. I realize it's more of a journal. I'm able to write in it every day what I want to do. It's more of a bullet list. So we have something. It's called a bullet journal. Focuses on bullet lists. It helps you organize your personal, um, or your personal day. You tracks your progress. Brainstorm about projects or record goals. You have the 5W journal, where if you're learning new information, you can focus on the who, what, where, and why. You have this one has been really popular, especially through the pandemic, the gratitude journal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
When you're feeling overwhelmed, it's a great place to write down what you're grateful for,
Right.
you know, and it doesn't need a whole paragraph. Sometimes you're just grateful that you just got up.
Amen.
Yeah. So, there's a question journal. Record questions that you may have, whether you are a student, whether it's just you're just an inquisitive person. Reading journal. This one I've noticed I've begun doing this one. You keep notes about what you're reading, either for
Oh,
class or for
okay.
personal. So, I've made a point to start reading more. And a lot of the books that I'm reading now, I'm discovering that I love the storytelling and I want to delve more into it. So now I'm writing about what I'm reading. So, and it
Okay.
sounds a little weird, but it helps you pull out and understand, I think, life more. So,
Yeah.
um, and then there's also the idea journal. Again, if you're the type of person you always got ideas going, this would be, you can pull out a notebook, however you want to do it, and just start your ideas, and then you go back and develop them as you need them. So, um, you can use notebooks. Um, I love Moleskin notebooks. Those are my favorite. This is my, I guess, my idea journal. You can use apps. There are so many out there. It's just a question of finding the one that you like. Um, I also use my computer. So, like I said, I may dictate into a particular app and then, clean it up. And this is, I think, the most important part of journaling. Go back and read what you wrote. Oftentimes, we just take notes and keep it moving. Go back and read it. It doesn't have to be anything deep. You don't have to go back like a year later and go, oh my God, I've changed, or no, I'm still doing. It will help you see that. But,
Yeah.
sometimes go back the next day. Oh, what did I write? What am I grateful for? What am I struggling with? Having that there, whatever format you do it in, it will help you become the best you.
I
So,
like that. Yes.
mhm,
Journaling helps you become the best you. Love
Like
it.
yes,
yes,
yes.
yes. And there's a current market and a current movement. Journaling is not just, oh, let me write a paragraph. It's not, let me just write a sentence. You can sit there, you can doodle, you can draw. There are pens you can buy, stickers you can get,
Yes.
however you want to do it, however your brain works.
Right.
That's how your journal is yours,
Right.
you know. And I'll be honest, I have my written ones. I have the ones on my computer backed up and behind passwords and all of that. However you want to do it, it's
Oh, you
up
don't
to
want
you.
us to
However
read
you
it?
want to share it or not share
It's
it,
not
it's
on the
up to
Google
you.
Drive on the Office up show so we can read
Absolutely
it?
not. Absolutely not. And like I said, however you want to do it, it's up to you. If you want to draw, if you want to color, if you just want to write, it is totally you. And that is the important part, because if you can get that you that's in here out on the paper, I think it will help strengthen who you are. So,
Journals take many forms, fashions. I got this one for Vanessa for Christmas. Isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Got all the different women on there, and then and then inside it's just rule lines. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen journals that just have blank papers in it.
mhm,
So it's just a matter of what you like. You know.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about how we journal. Victoria, you want to share?
You said something like the different types. Did you say the bullets and the
Mhm.
gratitude? And I don't do that. But you said something earlier, and I wrote it down. Reflective. I
Mhm.
do reflective journaling. I reflect on how I'm feeling in the moment, what's happening that day. If I have to think out a problem, or if I'm going through something, I write down how I feel. So that's the kind of journaling I do. And I haven't been doing it every day, but I think I need to get back into the habit of doing it every day. But at least once or twice a week, I will write. I write prayers. If I'm just talking to God, telling God how I feel. Lord, I'm just feeling tired today, or I just don't know what to do, Lord. Or Lord, I'm just grateful. I'm so thankful. I just feel good. Whatever. I just do that thought dump out,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's how I do it. I don't do bulleted lists in my journal, and I have another journal. I have all kinds of journals. Got 5 or 6 of them, and I have one that I use for sermons. That's right in my Bible. And so when I go to church, I have this just one journal that I write down thoughts when I hear sermons. So I have that different one, and it's an orange one, a little bit like this one, but it has the rule lines on it. And I've had that one for a while. So I like I said, I do reflective. What about you guys?
I was encouraged by this because I really didn't think that I journaled all the time, but I really do in some
Mhm.
form,
Mhm.
because I have and these are my, I'm the old fashioned composition book.
All right now.
So I have, and if I look at it, I have a finance journal,
Okay.
Mhm.
my goals and stuff in it for my money that coming to me from the north, south, east, and the west. That journal. I have a I have a bulleted list journal. That's my personal to-do list
Yep.
that I'm in all the time. Um,
Yeah.
I have my idea journal because if I'm working on a project, which is what I got going on right now, then I will put in there what I need to do, who I need to contact, and what resources I need to have, and what I'm going to do on what day. So I have that. I think my probably more reflective one is probably my I'm gonna call it my Jesus journal.
Your Jesus girl. I like that.
And that is usually my nicer journal. That's usually something that's leather bound and it
Okay.
stays in a particular spot. It stays
Okay.
right next to my chair and my little table in my bedroom, which is where I do most of my devotional and where I do most of my praying. And that's what it is. Is there are no to-do lists in there? There's nothing I need to think about in there. If so, I go to my other journal, I go
Other
to my
journals.
other books, I'll find something else to write down. Or as Ruth was saying that she will do the audio and then write it down later. If I have to, I always have a sticky note or a pad or something so I can get that thought in its place
Mhm.
when I have the time to do it. But my Jesus journal is that those are my prayers. You know,
Okay. Okay.
uh, they are usually in rhyme. He speaks to me in rhyme. I give him time to talk, and those dialogues are in that book. And I do go back to that one often, not to read it word for word, but just to skim through and see where I was at that point. A lot of times when I do, I know a lot of you are familiar with Jesus Calling.
Yes.
The
I
daily
love that book. Yeah.
book. I go through it every year. Every year, I will read it, and I will always either outline or underline or make a note of the year and what spoke to me that year
Yeah.
with
Okay.
that particular piece.
Okay.
And it's been different. I mean, ever since I've had mine and ever since I've gotten it, there are different things that that stand out to me because as a writer and the kind of writing that I do, I'm always concerned with, didn't I say that before? Didn't I think I said that Monday. Maybe I shouldn't say that Thursday.
Today.
But the reality of it is, there are things, just like we were talking about the dream big thing that came
Mhm.
through a message at my church, at Angie's church, and through the
Yeah.
kids' little greeting card. There are things that he wants to say to us. And I think that in those messages, if we don't quite get it one way, he'll bring it back to us another way. So there's nothing ever wasted. There's nothing ever
Right.
wasted in journaling. And if you get through your head that it is simply the act of writing,
Writing
I think you
something
will
every
be
day.
intimidated by it.
Yeah.
Because when I first saw Ruth's notes and I looked down and I thought, ooh, I don't have any. And I thought, wait a minute, I do that
Yes, you do.
all the time. I do that every day. There is some kind of journaling that I do. And I think it's probably the same for a lot of our listeners. And we don't even understand that that's what we're doing. When you make that to-do list, it's just another way of journaling. When you
Mhm.
want to write something down from that class, or when you're taking notes from that sermon, I got one of those too. I have one that I just keep the notes in from my church, from the
Yeah.
messages that I hear and stuff, and nothing else is in there but that. And I didn't think of that, as
Yeah.
journaling. I just thought that is taking notes from the man of God today, you know.
Right.
But that truly is, you know, part of the journaling and part of the journaling process. So I really appreciate the clarity on just that, Ruth.
You know, I wanted to note that when I was younger, I could find 5 or 6 what I call my diaries. It was my diaries
Diary, yeah.
from my teen years. Okay, you know, later teens to mid early 20s, and I'm going to burn them so that nobody can read them because it's quite embarrassing. But and I realized that actually, you know, journaling has been around a very, very long time.
Mhm.
And it's not going away. It's not going away. Just the fact that they keep making these kind of books, you know, it means that it's going to be around to stay. And I hope that everybody out there who's listening will begin to do it, because you've heard the benefits tonight. And it's just I love the way it helps me organize my thoughts, especially when I seem to be jumbled. And I know there was a time when I was really upset about all the deaths and losses in my life. I stopped writing. I couldn't do it. But I realize now it would have helped me if I could have gotten those thoughts out. I just couldn't do it. I shut all books, shut computer. I didn't want to write because I just couldn't. It was just too tremendous. But I know it would have helped me had I done it.
Mhm.
Yes, and I want to add just one more thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's no this is how you do it.
Right.
So, you know, forget the guilt.
Yeah.
Forget the oh, I don't do this every day. Forget, oh, I should be more consistent. What is your consistency? What do you need to do? On a personal level, because of where I am at, I journal in the morning and in the evening. So, and that's daily. That's for me. That is not something that everyone else has to do. Now, if you feel that journaling twice a week is enough for you to be reflective upon what your week was like, or if you need to make a to-do list every morning, figure out what your goals are, whatever it is, it's whatever you need. It's not what other people say you need to do.
Right.
It's what you need.
Very personal.
And that's
to
what
me.
you need to figure it out. Yeah.
That's a good point, Ruth. Angie said that she started a journal this year for highlights and notes from Sunday messages and Wednesday Bible study. And that's where I am too, Angie. I have staff meetings that I keep all of those together in one place. Trelyn said something that I think you just addressed too, Ruth. She said you definitely journal more than me. I just can't consistently do it. And sometimes, Trelyn, and this may not be the case with you, but sometimes I felt that I was not consistently journaling because I wasn't doing reflective journaling, and I wasn't doing it at a certain time every day. I didn't get up and purposely write down
that great gratitude journal, right?
Yeah, I didn't do it that way.
Right.
But when I look at what journaling is in terms of the different categories and different things that Ruth has mentioned here, I'm more consistent in journaling than I really thought, because I really am writing something every day. It may not be my Jesus journal. It may not be my bulleted list. I pretty much do that every day. But, some of the others, I don't do that every day. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't mean that I am inconsistent. It just means that falls into a category that didn't require me to put anything down that day. So
that's right.
So I am relieved of the guilt of inconsistency.
Yes, there's enough guilt in life. We don't need to
I
add
know,
more.
right?
Right. And I think that, Trelyn, the books that you write and the things that you've authored and the things that you've done, I don't know where journaling falls in all of that for you personally, but I thank you for the brilliant things that you do put down on paper and allow the rest of us to enjoy. And see, some of the stuff that I'm putting down, I'm like, Victoria, I never see. Will never see it. But I think it is. I think there's some good things to think about, and some
Right.
good things to take under advisement. That journaling really is just the act of writing,
Mhm.
and
Right.
we write in different forms in different categories. And if no one out there, if you haven't written anything down, then make it a point this week.
Mhm.
This week, write something down on a piece of paper.
Mhm.
Whether it's your to-do list, or whether it is your Jesus journal, or whether it is your
Reflective journal,
reflective
whatever you're
writing
thinking.
and
Yes.
all of that, just write something down. Write something down. And if you don't get to do it this week, guess what? There's always next week.
That's
You
right.
don't have
Exactly.
to feel condemned. You don't have to feel bad. And, I didn't journal today. Nobody's gonna get you. We're not gonna.
Right.
Authors
We
don't.
are not the journal police, right? But
We're gonna laugh anyway.
and I like that Night Kayetta and Louise both said it was something they're going to think about and look into it. So that's good. Good for you.
Oh, see there? Julyn says, I wrote my dreams. Woo.
Oh.
And that is something. That is something. That is really something right there. And Angie said, just start. Just
Yes, sir.
start.
Just
Just
start.
start. That's
Have to
it. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, that is it for us for
Mhm.
tonight. I pray that everybody got something out of this. I know I did, and I thank you, Ruth, for pulling
Yes.
all of this
You're welcome.
together. You always
Yes.
have
Thank
some
you, Ruth.
great information for us, and we are always glad when you are able to share all these notes and nuggets and things we need to keep in mind and things we need to remember. So thank you for that, lady. Thank you for taking care of you so that you can be back here with us. We're very
Yes.
selfish about that. Take care of you so you can take care of us. How about that?
Amen.
So thank you. Thank you for that. Ms. Victoria, is there anything that you want to say closing out? Or you, Ruth, if any closing remarks?
Just Ruth had a quote that she didn't read, but I like this one.
Thank you. I just realized that. Go ahead.
I can shake off everything as I write. My sorrows disappear. My courage is reborn. And that was from Anne Frank. And I really resonated with that because that's what writing does for me. Like I said, that reflective journaling gets my those jumbled thoughts out of my head and onto the paper. And I can I feel better when I write. I really do.
And
So-
I'll take the last one that says, because I really did like this one too. It says documenting little details of your everyday life becomes a celebration of who you are. And we don't celebrate who we are enough.
Amen.
Sometimes
Amen.
we're spending so much time trying to be more, be better, do greater.
Yeah.
Who you are and where you are right now is a celebration in and of itself.
Amen.
And I like that. I enjoy
I like it too.
that. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna share the last one since we got all of them. Journal writing, when it becomes a ritual of transformation, is not only life changing but life expanding. So
Exactly.
you know what? Life is too good to just keep digging into the mundane, and I think that journal writing helps us pull out the good parts. It helps us celebrate who we are. It helps us make us better. So
It tells our
however
story.
you do it,
Mhm.
just do it.
Do it.
That's it.
Just do it.
Tell your story.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for being with us tonight. We hope that you got something from this program about the ins and outs of journaling. I know that I did. I know Victoria did. And I know Ruth. I tell you, Ruth, you're right on point. We're glad to be bringing your tips back in 2023. And we're going to have some more information like this so we can celebrate me. Wow, what a concept. Absolutely.
Right.
Lynn, don't let the rest of the world celebrate you and you not celebrate you. You got to
That's
celebrate yourself too, right?
That's right.
So that's what we're going to do. Thank you for those who are in other places and other parts of the globe for listening to us this evening. Who is it that usually says, hey, Marsha Marcellus was on the line. Good evening to you, lady. If you want any information, if you have a story that you want to tell, if you've authored a book, if you know of an author that should be a part of Authors Up, you can contact us at authorsup@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Authorsup@gmail.com. So we will be replaying this broadcast on Saturday coming up at 7 p.m. If you know somebody who might be thinking about journaling or who may be helped by the journaling process or some of the things that were shared tonight, be sure to let them know that they can listen to the replay on Saturdays at 7 p.m. That is it for us for tonight. Thank you for being with us. Come back next week. Yes.
Yes, and don't forget to follow us on YouTube. You can watch the full episodes. You can also download our podcast, or you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Just look up Authors Up Show.
And find out how to get our journal.
That's right.
That's
Actually,
right.
yes.
That's right. Where's that?
Not that it's a plug, but
It is a plug. We
It
have
is
our
a
own
plug.
journal.
yes.
And our own pen comes with our own journal, so you won't even have to look for a pen, child. We got a journal and a pen. Lord
That's
have mercy.
it. Come on.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's it for us tonight, folks. Thank you for following us, for coming on with us on Sunday evening. We appreciate you. We love you. We want the best for you.
Absolutely.
And if we can be a part of your journey, we are very, very happy to do exactly that. So that's it for us tonight. That's it for Authors Up. But guess what? We will be right back here next Sunday night
That's right.
at 7 p.m. I think we have a guest next week. Yes.
We'll find out. Tune in, find out, and see.
That's right. That's right. Because if we don't know, you'll know when we know. How about that? But join us next week, because you never, ever know what is going to happen when you tune in to Authors Up. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Night,
night.
ladies.
Good night, Bronze Girl.